So the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, was on record saying that he's gonna beat Canelo, Bivol, and Beterbiev. He has the style to break all of them down. Check it out.
And then go up to 75, beat Bivol, and then maybe Beterbiev. I know that's possible, and I can accomplish that. So.
And what happens in those 3 fights?
I beat all of them. I find ways to win. That's what makes me so dangerous. I could break down any type of style. You see me break down Bivol, you know what I mean? So, but it's gonna be great fights, man. I'm really excited.
I saw you spar Bivol. I love that fight. You and Beterbiev, I like that fight. You and Canelo. You have a lot of options.
Well, there's no doubt about it. If David Benavidez can beat Morrell and go on to beat Beterbiev and Bivol, forget about Canelo. Benavidez at that point is not just going to be the Mexican monster. He's going to be the world monster. And he wouldn't even need Canelo because he's going to be the face of boxing, let alone the face of Mexico. At that point, who needs Canelo? AKA the duck of boxing, respectfully. Now, this is a tall task for anyone, including David Benavidez. Is one thing to be the best fighter from Mexico, is one thing to be the Mexican monster, but to be the best fighter in the world, to be the world monster, at least in or around your division, that's really a tall task. Before we can jump ahead and talk about and fancy about the fantastic fight between Benavidez and Beterbiev, if they do fight, that's a dream fight come true. Benavidez first have a mountain to climb, and that mountain called David Morrell. That's no easy fight. That's a 50-50 fight. In fact, I'm actually favoring David Morrell to beat David Benavidez. We just saw last Saturday night the reason why the boxing fans are dying to see the best fight the best, since the ring is the truth teller to who is the best fighter in the world. We don't gotta argue about it. We gonna see about it. Like we saw last Saturday night. A classic legendary fight between two legendary fighters, Beterbiev and Bivol. That's the type of fights that the sport of boxing has been missing. And this year, we got two of them. Tyson Fury versus Usyk, a candidate of the fight of the year, and of course, Beterbiev versus Bivol, another candidate of the fight of the year. And of course, earlier this year, we had another great fight, and that was Devin Haney versus Ryan. However, Ryan cheated and ruined the moment. He ruined his legacy. He ruined his career, and that's why the win was erased from his career, from his record. Nevertheless, this is why it's important to see the best fight the best to determine who the best is. And we have another significant fight coming up, which is David Benavidez versus David Morrell. The battle of the Davids. It's exciting times. We have a mini tournament in the light heavyweight division because the winner of David Benavidez versus David Morrell could end up fighting the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol rematch. And if there's no rematch, they could end up fighting either Beterbiev or Bivol because Bivol is still a top dog. This is the beauty about the best fighting the best. If you lose to the best, who cares? That's first of all. Second of all, if you lose in an effort where the fight was close or you gave it your all, your stock is going to stay the same or even go up, like Bivol did against Beterbiev in a loss because he gave such a great fight. The fight was competitive. The fight could have had went either way. That's how close the fight was. Due to that, that's not going to be the ending of his career just because he lost. In fact, his stock went up, which is my point exactly. Benavidez could end up in the same shoe. If he loses to Morrell in a close fight, who cares? He can still go on to fight Bivol, who lost to Beterbiev, and Morrell can go on to fight Beterbiev. Like I said before, this could end up being a mini tournament where the winners fight each other and the losers fight each other. Then they can go back and fight each other again. Or mix it up. A loss do not define your career. It's more so how you lose anyways, and also how you bounce back, more so than losing. With that being said, in my eyes, if I'm being honest, even though Benavidez is so confident that he feels he can beat Beterbiev, Bivol, and Morrell, I actually think differently. I think Morrell, Beterbiev, and Bivol will beat Benavidez in close fights, very close, thin fights. So, if Benavidez can prove me wrong and prove the world's wrong and beat them, like I said, he's going to be the world monster at that point. And a quick disclaimer, I picked Andre to beat Benavidez as well. And we saw how that went. He completely smashed Dimitri's Andre. When that does happen, though, you have to give credit where credit is due, and that's why David Benavidez is on the top 10 of new media pound-for-pound list. I actually have Benavidez over Canelo on our top 10 pound-for-pound list. Therefore, Benavidez is just going to keep climbing up the ladder, beating the fighters we don't think he can beat, like Morrell, Beterbiev, and Bivol. In fact, styles do make fights, and I think Beterbiev is the one that's going to give Benavidez his toughest fight. That's the most dangerous fight for Benavidez, due to Beterbiev power and the fact that Benavidez is going to be standing right in front of Beterbiev, and that's something you can do. So that's his most dangerous fight. And then after that is Morrell. Then after that is Bivol. I think Bivol might be the easiest fight for Benavidez stylistic-wise. However, you never know, because Bivol is the most technical fighter of all of them. The most gifted is Morrell. And of course, the monster of them all is Beterbiev. So these are exciting fights. And there is no shame in losing to any of these guys, because these are the monsters of the light heavyweight division. These are the monsters that got Canelo shaking in his boots. Whenever you mention Benavidez to Canelo, he leaves town. Whenever you mention Bivol to Canelo, he leaves the country. Whenever you mention Morrell to Canelo, he leaves the planet. Whenever you mention Beterbiev to Canelo, he does instant transmission and leaves the universe. Canelo is avoiding these guys for a reason, because he don't want the rest of his career to be a short season. Furthermore, Benavidez said he has the style to break all of them down, and I want to see it. I can see how Benavidez thinks or believes he can break down Bivol or Morrell, because obviously they're going to be the matador and he's going to be the bull. But I'm more so wondering how he's going to break down Beterbiev, or how he thinks he's going to break down Beterbiev, who's known for breaking people down. I mean, even as someone as technically sound as Bivol, Beterbiev started breaking him down and had him really extremely tired, where Bivol had given it his all by the 12th round. So when you think about it, Bivol did everything right, and Beterbiev still managed to break him down. So how you gonna avoid getting broke down by Beterbiev if you stand in front of him like Benavidez, for example, let alone breaking Beterbiev down? However, we're talking about a guy in Benavidez at 15 years old. He was sparring Gennady Golovkin, and he gave Gennady Golovkin the work when he was only 15 years old. So that got to count for something. But what Benavidez is missing is obviously the amateur experience to deal with different type of styles, even though he's doing great so far, especially against slick fighters. However, we got to see how he's going to do against Morrell. That fight is going to tell us more about Benavidez and how good David Morrell is. And of course, the future of the light heavyweight division, which this is what makes this fight so significant. These are the type of fights we need in the sport of boxing. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you guys believe Benavidez can break Beterbiev down? I want to see that. That's something I got to see. subscribe below, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.